Good morning everyone, welcome back to your beloved duck chess speedrun. As usual, today we are playing 3 games, hopefully end up with a higher ELO than what we started with. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. E4, duck on E5. Knight C6. Knight C3. And I put the duck on the wrong pawn. That is bad. Knight F3. Knight F6. B3. B6. This guy is seriously copying me. Bishop C4. Duck on D6. Ha! Now it is physically impossible to copy again. Let's see what he's gonna do. H6. Bishop B2. Bishop B7. Alright, the development phase should be good enough for now. Let's start making progress. Does he have the gut to take my pawn though? He does. D3, duck takes away F6. Knight D6. I'll take his pawn back. Take bishop E7. I managed to trade both of my bishops for his knights, which should theoretically be really good because the knights are much more flexible fighting the duck compared to the bishops. It's time to develop the woman. Castle. It seems like there's a free pawn here, but I'm feeling a little bit insecure about it. Castle. To be clear, I'm not a coward. It's not like a single pawn can do anything substantial for our position. I just need to win his queen and get a resignation. D6. I'll go back. Bishop F6. Aha. Normally trading a knight with a bishop is totally not a good decision, but just for this one time, I think it may be worth it. G takes F6. This way I can keep his duck busy defending his king for a while. Rook E1. He immediately set his duck free. Rook lift. I'll prevent his rook from coming over. Queen C8. He offers a queen trade. Of course I'm not interested. Rook E7. And I think I blundered a rook to queen D8 duck E6. Oh my god, what am I doing? Ha! Never mind. Rook back. You know what they say? It doesn't matter if you blunder, what matters is whether or not your opponent knows about it. Applies to literally everything in life. His rook came over. I'll avoid it. It's fine, I'm attacking his king a lot, he will eventually make an unavoidable blunder. It's just a matter of time. There it comes. That blunders a pawn. Rook G7. That blunders a queen. Bishop takes G2. That is a very good attempt, but funny enough that is not even a check. This is a check. King H8. King takes G2. Double rooks. Rooks are very predictable in this variant, and doubling them up together actually makes them even worse than they usually are. King to H1. Duck on G6. You see, I'm just using a duck, but managed to literally block both of his rooks. Resignation. That game took longer than expected. This guy is a lot stronger than his rating suggested. But anyway. Second game, let's go. E4. Duck on D4 is very suspicious. I have absolutely nothing that can reach that square on my very first move. E5, and since maybe he actually wanted to play D4 himself, so he used the duck to pre-order the square for his pawn. Of course I'll put the duck on D3. Knight H3, and the duck pre-ordered C3 for his knight. I'll spend a move to trap his knight. Queen F3. Well then, now I don't understand what was duck on C3 for. This is very confusing. Knight C6. Knight C3. What is this queen going to do though? It's not like I will ever let him develop his bishop anyway. I mean, I have been very obvious about it ever since the beginning of the game, so of course he has to know about it. Knight d4, duck on g3. My knight will have a pretty long time standing safely on d4. What an absolutely amazing outpost. And who knows, maybe there is a small chance I can even trap his queen. Queen f5. Well, I guess I can no longer trap his queen now, because she's dead. Resignation. That was easy. This guy is obviously a beginner. Third game, let's go. Aha. Third game, we finally get a high-rated opponent. e4, duck on e5. Knight c6. You know what? I have been thinking about knight c6 ever since the first game my opponent also played it like this. And my current conclusion is, it is not a good move. Knight c6 feels very weak and it gave up so much center control while putting a valuable knight up front as the first piece getting developed. So I decided that I would gambit my e-pawn and try to win the knight in the next few moves, because even if I fail to do so, I believe we will still get a decently good amount of development. Knight takes d5. f4, duck on c6. And the hunt begins. Knight g6. f5, duck on d5. Knight f4. Aha. Unlike last time he was blocking my d-pawn, now the situation changed and he is more scared of my queen coming out. g3, duck on e5. Knight h5. Okay, I failed. I couldn't trap his knight. Back to the development phase. g6. g6 is to create an extra free square for his knight in case it needs to retreat. This guy is very cautious. c4. d6. Bishop g5. This bishop will help me keep his duck busy defending his queen for a couple of moves. He took my pawn. Bishop e2. c6. He wants to move his queen out to set the duck free. There's nothing I can do about that. Bishop takes h5. G takes h5. Queen takes h5. I'll say my position is pretty good, but our plan of sacrificing Edward was probably not worth it. I don't know, maybe I'll do it again in the future and see if there is anything I can do differently. h6. I'll pull my bishop this way. Maybe he'll get greedy and use the duck to trap my bishop. He did. Knight c3. Ha! I mean, if I can trade a bishop with a duck, I will be doing so happily every day of the week. Knight f6. I'll go back. Double attack though. Let's see what he'll do about this. And he chose to sacrifice the king. I thought we were having a great game, but accidents happen. That was very unfortunate. Blundering a king is like having a mouse slip. Queen takes the king. For real. We are getting strong opponents more frequently than when we started out. Duck chess speed run today. 100% win rate.